Will of New Mexico is the proud coffee mug sponsor for New Mexico Living.
Supporting the transportation and logistics industry. That is the mission behind the work being done at Luma Brighter Learning. They are an award-winning enterprise learning management system specializing in maximizing safety, ensuring compliance, and boosting employee retention. We want that, right? Bottom line, they want to see your business succeed, and they want to help you make that happen. So joining us today to tell us more about Luma Brighter Learning and why learning matters is our CEO, Dr. Gina Anderson. Gina, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. Luma Brighter Learning, really interesting company here. Talk to me about how this came to be and what the company does.
Yeah, so we started Luma in 2008 because we really saw a specific need in the transportation industry to make a difference. We're a learning company, specifically focused on the psychology and learning science. So we really serve fleets, we do a learning management system, and we provide a whole wealth of learning services for them.
What type, let's dive into that then. So there's a lot of learning to be done here. What type of learning are we doing here, and why is it so important?
Yeah, well, think about the last time you drove somewhere and you didn't remember how you got there.
Oh, hopefully never, but.
Right, well, really our minds are on autopilot, and so is training. And the thing is, though, this is fine perhaps for us, but for an 80,000-pound vehicle on the road, which are all over, it is imperative because it's a safety, and it can be life or death. And so learning really is the science of how our brains work so that we can actually save lives.
Yeah, absolutely. When you put it that way, it opens your brain to all of this stuff, right? Let's talk a little bit about why there should be an emphasis on learning, particularly in transportation and logistics.
Well, you would be horrified if you actually saw how drivers were trained.
Oh, really?
They're put in classrooms for hours on end. And as we know as a learning scientist, that your brains is cognitive overload. You can't, with all the information, you cannot remember, even as engaged as you are with that content. And so you lose information every single hour after it's presented. So if they're in a classroom for 9 hours, think how much they're really going to remember when they're on the road.
Right.
And then on top of that, they drop generic safety videos to the drivers on an ongoing basis. And look, we all know that we should be safe in parking lots, but that's not how we're going to learn.
Absolutely. That's, you know, and when we're talking about drivers, we're talking fleets, like, are we talking big semi-trucks here?
Yes, like 80,000-pound vehicles that are next to you when you're driving in a car.
Yeah, you want that driver to be as trained as possible, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the thing is that education really needs to be delivered in small, meaningful, authentic information. Let me give you an example. So instead of sending that driver a safety video on be safe in a parking lot, you know to be safe, I know, they know. What about scanning the actual parking lot, that grocery store that has that yellow pole, dropping it to them before they get there so that they can see the actual parking lot? That's authentic learning. They know to be safe, but they don't know about that parking lot.
Right.
And it's so important that we draw on authentic learning for them so it's meaningful.
Taking learning to the next level and keeping everyone safe in the process. That's absolutely vital, vital stuff. Now, this is something I really want to talk about. So Luma, you guys were the 2023-2024 recipient of the prestigious Inc. 5000 Fastest Growing Companies Award. Unbelievable. Can you please talk to me about what it meant to win that? And what's your secret to success here?
Yeah, well, I really appreciate that. For us, it's really listening to the client's needs. And when you're talking about fleets, it's about saving lives.
Right.
This is a matter of life or death.
Absolutely it is.
And when you can tap into human science and the needs and what our brains need to learn, and you can improve safety, we improve safety for fleets. This isn't marketing, this is real.
Yeah.
We improve safety, and we also help them engage into their learning and make a difference. And we have close to 100% retention.
Man.
And that's because we're making a change and we're saving lives.
Yeah, saving lives, all of our lives. My life, her life, Bobby's life, Nicole's lives, all of our lives on the road. They are making it better for us. Let's talk about what the future of learning looks like in this industry.
Yeah, so it's not about, learning isn't about content. We have so much content, and now with AI, we're going to continue to get more content.
Absolutely.
This is about tapping into the human connection of learning. We are able to draw in metrics and data from the truck to really drive behavior change. So we can say to the driver, look, you need to connect with other drivers. So learners are disconnected, right? People are disconnected.
Right.
So we can connect them through learning. We can connect them to metrics in the vehicles to really drive behavior change. They don't have to learn on their own. They can actually tap into instructors and draw on that human connection. And that's what the future, we cannot have them learning alone by themselves with content.
Right.
It just isn't going to implement change.
My goodness, absolutely. A lot of amazing stuff being done here with Luma Brighter Learning. Really quickly, you have a giveaway you want to do.
I do.
Talk to us about it.
Absolutely. So in the workplace today, there's a majority of a lot of different generations. And so I'd like to give away a white paper that really shows how to harness neuroscience and coaching across the workplace for all generations. So if you go to that QR code, you can download a free white paper to show and give you strategies how to implement some of these safety strategies. This is amazing stuff, guys. Seriously, take advantage of this. Take a picture or whatever you do to get that QR code to work. Wait, you pull your camera out, that's how you do it. And take advantage of this. This is awesome, awesome stuff. Really quickly, if a business or a company wants to know more about what you guys are doing, where can we find you online? Yeah, definitely you can go to lumabrighterlearning.com, and certainly you can reach me on LinkedIn, Dr. Gina Anderson. I look forward to hearing from anyone that's interested. Luma Brighter Learning, making the world a safer place for all of us on the roads, which is vital, vital, vital stuff. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much. All right, guys, for more information on this entire interview, head over to KRQE.com, click on that New Mexico Living tab. Stay with us. There's more New Mexico Living when we return.